Mr. Wayne Coyne from
Yes.
the Flaming Lips, how are you?
You were just going along in such a professional manner. I was just hypnotized by it. I just became a listener. Yeah. Now I'm in on it. Yeah.
You're in on the action now. You have to run with me as fast as you can.
Yeah, that was great.
Hey, have you been well? We've seen you, out and about doing stuff backstage, getting stuff ready for tonight's show.
Yeah. Well, I don't. Yeah, the rest of the world, probably you probably don't hear this much here, but when you have to travel from America to anywhere in Australia, it's long flight, and we have been subjected to this Drew Barrymore movie since the beginning of the summer. We've gone to England and Scotland and Switzerland a couple of times, and every time we fly, that movie, he's just not that into you. That movie has played, and
let me guess, you're just not into that movie.
No, there's a lot of elements about traveling that are wonderful, but I've seen that movie like 6 times. And when you fly from Los Angeles, where we left from, I mean, we don't live there, but that's where we left from, to come to Sydney or Melbourne, it's 15 hours. They show those movies 5 or 6 times over and over.
I know. You can almost play a part in the movie now, can't you?
So I didn't like the movie, and now it's the only movie I know. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Like Groundhog Day, getting on that plane, not another time.
Yes.
Listen, everyone's wanting to know what you're going to do on stage. It's the big question every time Flaming Lips tours somewhere. Everyone wants to know, what are they going to add to the live show?
Yeah, which I like. I mean, I like the idea that there's stuff going on. I was talking to someone last night, and they said, I've read that the reason you do so much stuff is sort of distract you from having to remember that you don't sing that well. And I'm like, oh yeah, I forgot.
Who said that to you?
Well, no, it's true. It's true. I mean, some of the guys in the group are just outstanding musicians. They could play with someone of the caliber of Miles Davis, if they wanted to, but I'm not, and I'm sometimes the whole, center of attention up there, and sometimes I feel to just watch me sing and play. I'm not very good. I got into music and being in the group, the Flaming Lips, anyway, just because I loved music and punk rock and all that. I never thought it'd last 26 years. I thought it'd maybe last a summer, and my humiliation would be over, and it would be fun.
You would have got it out of your system. And
so occasionally I'm reminded, I'm just a normal guy. I mean, with Michael Jackson dying recently, you remember what a freak, and what a you watch him, and it's like, wow, that's just phenomenal to watch. Well, for me, I don't feel that way.
When you look at yourself back on stage.
I mean, I don't, we present these songs and we do this thing. And so I think the thing is kind of, it's our way of being able to stand there bravely and think, this is a phenomenal show. Of course it is. We have a 50-foot naked woman dancing behind me. I've got a space bubble, and I've got pink smoke bombs, and I've got anything you'd ever want. But frankly, sometimes the shows that people will talk about, we won't have done anything. It'll be a show where we were not allowed to do any of the stuff, and I'll think, oh, this isn't going to work. And sometimes they talk about those shows
even more so.
Yeah, and so
which is nice.
It's great. And so I don't know. I mostly think we're doing all this stuff just to keep ourselves kind of entertained, and we make this atmosphere. But yes,
well, it looks like you guys have fun. I mean, I've seen you live.
We do. We totally do. And why wouldn't people, though? I mean, that is a strange thing. It's like people will think, you guys look like having fun. Shouldn't every band be having fun? I mean, shouldn't they? I mean, what a better job could you have than to be a dumb guy in a rock group that gets to go up there and do this thing? You know what I mean? Is this a job? I mean, sure, it's fun. It's awesome. Yeah.
You're so hands-on. That's the thing that surprised me, because I've seen you, and other people have seen you doing stuff. Ever since Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Getting stuff ready for today's show.
Yeah.
Measuring out the stage, making sure everything's going to work.
I know. I thought you weren't going to say that to anybody. Yeah, I know. I mean,
sorry. Was that
I know.
But it is really surprising, because everyone would assume that a band would have someone, they would pay someone to do all that stuff.
Well, we have plenty of guys who help us, but I feel like, I think I am kind of just obsessive about it. I want it to go good, and we ship a lot of this gear all around the world now. We want this big show that we have, and I don't know. I just would feel like such a fool if I sat at the hotel drinking. What would I be drinking? Like
you could have a margarita in Byron, probably, or Corona beer, something like that.
Some fantastical, pink, foamy, expensive, exotic thing. Anyway, and then if something went wrong, I'd throw the microphone at the roadie. And I know in my mind, I should have just done that myself. But in a sense, I think it would just drive me crazy if I didn't, because I'm blessed. Is that a word you can say, blessed? I mean, I'm lucky that I have this kind of energy. Can you tell?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And you can say blessed on Triple J. Trust me, blessed is okay.
And so, I'm glad that I get to go up there and do stuff. And then I like just being here. I mean, I like doing shows, so it's not like I really just want to sit in some limousine and run on stage and then run off. I kind of like it. It's enjoyable.
Fantastic. Wayne Coyne from the Flaming Lips is with us. We're going to keep on talking to you in just a moment. Okay. I've just got one confession to make, because when I saw you on your last tour...
Oh, boy.
No. It's a good one.
Okay, all right.
I've been to shows for many, many years. The only show that has made me cry with laughter has been a Flaming Lips show. And I stood in the audience watching you guys last time, and I saw the show in Sydney, and I had tears rolling out of my eyes, and I was just worried someone was going to look at me thinking that I was in pain, but it was so hilarious to watch.
Well, that's a great compliment.
And it was a compliment.
That's a great compliment.
I want to talk to you about the new record, which is forthcoming from the Flaming Lips. Let's hear a taste of it right now. This is the only thing that's out and about from it at the moment. It's called Silver Trembling Hands. We'll come back with Wayne Coyne in just a moment. And there you have it. Brand new stuff from the Flaming Lips, Silver Trembling Hands, from their forthcoming double album. Wayne Coyne is still with us live at Splendour in the Grass in Byron Bay on Triple J. Are you going to do that one live? Do you do that one in your set tonight?
We are. I know. Now I'm worried. Yeah.
Why?
Yeah. Well, I hadn't thought about it at all until you said that. I was like, oh, yeah, that's that song. Yeah.
We're going to play new music as well.
Yeah. We started to do it earlier in the summer, and one of our roadies jumped up on stage in a bear costume, and I jumped on his back. Yeah.
And what happened?
Sang the song.
Oh, okay.
So I think now...
I thought you were about to say you killed him or something.
He tried to kill me. No, I'm not sure why it occurred the way it did, but now, whenever we do the song, he jumps on stage and I get on his back and we...
So it's part of the routine now.
It is, yeah. That's how all of our things happen. Some dumb, spontaneous moment erupts, and it's like, hey, that was cool, and then if people like it, I take credit for it.
Yeah, and the poor roadie has to live through it for the next 18 months.
Well, since then we've rehearsed it, because I weigh about 150 pounds, and he's in this suit, and it would be horrible to hurt his hip or his back, you know what I mean? And I'd see him when he's 70 and he'd still be in a wheelchair. I know that'd be horrible, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It would be. There would be a slight downer to that. Listen, Wayne, this new record, I've only heard half of it. I mean, it's coming out, I think, at the end of September.
It is, yes.
It's a double record. It's called Embryonic. You were just telling me off mic that it's probably one of the fastest records you've recorded?
Well, we didn't intend for it to be that way. I think we went in thinking, well, we'll see what happens, and then you kind of, if things go well, it goes quick, and if it goes sort of bad, you go, till it gets good. I think that's always been our philosophy. We just, we start making a record when we feel like it's good or we've run out of ideas, we sort of put them out. And this being a double record, I think for us it seemed easier. I don't know why.
Because you got to explore all the ideas that you had.
Yeah, or it relieves you a little bit of the pressure of it having to be so focused. And I think because of that, it almost is more focused, because we thought, that we would be doing a song and we think, we have another song that's kind of in that same vein. But hey, it's a double record. Who's going to care? There's 20 songs in there, whatever, and you just kind of go for it. And it became more of relaxing, instead of thinking, oh my God, we've got to write 20 songs, which we never really wanted to do. We don't think of double records as being just more songs. In our conceptual way of thinking of double records, it was more like a way to just explore different ideas and relax and sprawl, and and there was a couple of tracks even on our previous record, At War with the Mystics, where we would do a song and then we'd kind of at the end of it drift off, and maybe that would be 45 seconds. And I remember after we made that, I thought, we should have done that for like 5 minutes, why restrict ourselves? And so I think it was fun. I think it opened up a whole new area of experimenting and sort of finding new ways to make songs that I don't think we'd have found if we weren't doing a double record.
It's interesting. As I said, I've only heard like half the record, and it's a lengthy record, but it's really adventurous.
Well, our suggestion is don't listen to the whole thing at once. I think that's the best way to do it. Listen to half, and then go have some fun.
Have a trip to Byron Bay,
and then listen to the other half. For me, I don't think I've ever sat down and listened to a whole double record. That just seems like too much. That's like trying to eat
it's a pretty
lunch and dinner at the same time.
It's a big commitment, isn't it?
Yeah.
But the other thing was, I read a little bit where you were saying, oh yeah, this new record, it's kind of like it's influenced by Joy Division, Miles Davis, and John Lennon.
Yes.
Like is one quote that you've said somewhere else.
Well,
but you know what? I read these things all the time from bands, and they'll say, oh yeah, we're really listening to a lot of whoever, you know, African Soweto music or whatever, and then you listen to it and you go, there's absolutely nothing of that in the sound of it. But I was listening to it, going, I can hear bits of Miles Davis. I can actually hear Joy Division. I can hear.
Oh well, thank you.
What you were talking about wasn't crap.
I wouldn't say that I think we would do these things, and I mean, obviously you have a vast knowledge of music. A lot of kids wouldn't know what a Miles Davis track would be, but people who know music would say, that reminds me, even moments of it reminds me of something like the Police's Ghost in the Machine. There's kind of a strange, murky, moody thing about some of it, and no, you're exactly right. I didn't know the Joy Division thing was creeping in there until I heard a couple of the tracks, and I don't know if I was trying to sound strangely disconnected. Is that a word you'd use for Ian Curtis in a good way, in the best way possible? But some of it reminded me of that. Not that I was trying to do that, but reminded me of those sorts of moods. And I think that's, if you can get that, you're lucky.
Yeah, fantastic. Look, it's really exciting. It's exciting to have Flaming Lips back here. It's exciting that you're going to be playing some of the live material tonight. Is going to be this new material.
The one song. I mean, we don't play that long. I mean, here you only get an hour, and but we'll do plenty of stuff.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And you'll be hearing it on Triple J as well, because we're going to be putting a fair amount of the set live to air.
Now the pressure's on. Now the pressure's on. Yeah.
I should have mentioned that. I should have mentioned that in the next talk break after you'd left the tent. I'm so bad at this. I put you under too much pressure.
You totally did. Yeah.
You can blame it on me and this interview if it goes pear-shaped tonight. Have a fantastic time. Wayne Coyne from the Flaming Lips. Thanks so much for dropping by the Triple J tent.
Awesome. Thank you. Yes, it was great.
Have a good show.